Hi everyone, it's Saya here. Can you believe it's February already? Why is it February already? As we promised in the last long yak, here's our new feature, What's Up in Dramaland. Here we'll discuss news from the KN world from the past month and look forward to new dramas in the month to come. As always, dear listeners, we'd love to hear from you and you can talk to us almost anywhere. We're most active on Twitter, so tweet to us at Dramas Overflow. You can also leave a comment on YouTube or SoundCloud, or our absolute most favourite thing in the world, which makes us unreasonably excited. Drop us an email at dramasoverflowers@gmail.com. You can also hop on over to our Patreon page for some extra bonus content. That's at patreon.com/dramasoverflowers. And don't forget to check out the blog for transcripts of our long yaks, and they are brought to you by our amazing volunteer and possibly the world's biggest Puxagen fan, K-Drama Daydreamer, and you will find the link below. And last but not least, thank you to our wonderful Patreon patrons. Why can't I say this? This is the sixth time I've tried to say this right, so I'm keeping it in this time. You guys are just going to have to deal with having your imperfect intro. So thank you to our wonderful Patreon patrons for helping making this feature happen. Your support is so important to us, and we're excited to be growing. You can't see them, but I'm sending you finger hearts, lots and lots of finger hearts. Thank you. Hi everyone, this is Saya.
This is Anissa.
And this is Parma. And welcome to What's Up in Dramaland.
So what is up in Dramaland? Oh no, wait, that's me.
That's you.
That's me. Okay, so what's up in Dramaland is something that none of us want to happen. So Son Ye-jin and Jung Hae-in are up to reunite in another romance from the same writer and PD, the critically acclaimed An Pan-suk, for a new drama. Please don't.
Oh my god, but I still can't believe that this is actually, like, that drama actually did so well.
The drama that won't be named. You know what's really disturbing? I've been watching I've been catching up on some variety shows. And like the episodes that aired around the time that Pretty Noona was on had Stand By Your Man as the background music. And I was like getting like PTSD flashbacks. I was just like,
understandably.
And I was like, why are you using this song for like one of those like so-called, you know, those staged romantic moments in variety shows? But I'm just like, no, this is not a romantic song. This is not. But it kind of shows that it was popular, which just makes me sad.
That reminds me, I watched was it Sleepless in Seattle quite recently. I think that film had that in it, and I was like, oh.
Oh, really?
I think it was that. It might have been, it does, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I went into shock. I was like, no. I mean,
it's not like 1995 anymore, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. That's a very fair point.
But you know that it's just so sad that we all loved Jung Hae-jin so much, and we were looking forward to what new projects he'd be in, and now there is one announced that we're all like,
no, you know, what? I wasn't. After Pretty Noona, I've gone off both of those two.
That's what I'm saying. Like right before Pretty Noona, when you had dude, what was while you were sleeping?
Yeah.
When that was airing, we were all like, okay, what is he going to be in next? And then Pretty Noona aired, which did massively well in terms of ratings.
And the first half was great.
First half was really good.
Yeah,
it was great. And
but
then
it's like, okay, if you're going to reunite, one, why so soon? Two, really the same writer and the same director? Like, I have you guys thought about this? Like, are you trying to correct some past wrong, or are we just the minority?
They don't feel like they did anything wrong. They feel like it's a success. So
maybe they're like, let's replicate our previous success, and all of us are like, hard no.
Yeah. So they're gonna keep beating that dead horse, but we don't need to keep beating this dead horse. So let's move on to something better. What's the
I
next
don't know
item?
if it's better, but it's better for the people who are enjoying this. So the third season of Voice has been confirmed. That had its second season quite recently, and the first season, which was last year, and that was with Ihana, who has like a super hearing ability, and she's a emergency call center operator. Team leader. I don't know how it's changed now. I didn't watch the second season. I watched the first season. It's a procedural, and it's a good concept. for a procedural. I just realized that I'm not into procedurals. And also, like with season 1, I found it like more brutal and gritty than I like. I mean, I don't like brutal.
I mean, yeah, it's OCN, so.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and at times I found it quite poorly directed. I don't know if the director has changed between season 1 and 2 and 3. But you know, they've got a winning formula, so why not? It's good. And I think Ihana is reprising her character, but like I think this season we had Lee Jinuk instead of Jang Hyuk, who was like, you know, my character arc is done in this show, so it could be that they'll have like, you know, a different male character each season. I don't know. I would guess that Lee Jinuk is probably done with this as well. So actually it's a way to keep it fresh and interesting without losing sort of the main character of the show. That's not a bad idea. So for people who are enjoying that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it seems like the multiple season format is getting more popular in Korean dramas because Laughter in Waikiki is having a second season and it's actually airing in March. So it's coming up soon.
That's soon.
Surprisingly. It does.
I haven't even got to the first season yet.
Right. Usually when they have second seasons, like they don't usually come so quickly, so yeah, that's surprising. But yeah, we'll talk about that once it gets a confirmed date. But I just thought I saw that yesterday and it was interesting.
That, and I suppose because they confirmed it very quickly, they were probably able to book the actors quickly.
That makes sense.
Third piece. Okay. So everyone, I think everyone's heard this already, but Strong Woman Do Bong-soon is getting a US remake. And this is the Netflix title for this, I think, is Strong Girl Bong-soon. So it's actually been, I think, pretty popular among the new to K-drama crowd as well.
So it's such a huge new to K-drama crowd now. Last 1 year, the number of people who have come on board because it's on Netflix is just incredible. Yeah.
So I have to ask you guys, what did you guys think of the original? I think we talked about it, but I can't remember.
I did not like it. Like it.
I liked it in parts, but Do Bong-soon's character was one I had a lot of issues with. But of course, the strong point of the drama was the romance, which is just
the funny thing is the remake
level of sorry.
As in the most successful aspect of the show was the romance, right? Everything else was nonsense.
Yeah, and they were like magical together. It wasn't just like a good romance. It was like beyond. It was like supernatural. So
it was like explosive and wonderful, and it's the reason I have not been able to get rid of it.
And everything else is awful. So that is one of those. Yeah,
it's like the rest of it is as bad as the romance is good. And the romance was like just so good, and it's like, you know, Park you know, they just had this wonderful, like, they were just, that was so perfectly cast.
Yeah, it was like 1 + 1
right
equals like a million with those two. So
yes. So the original, like the article that announced it, it's a Deadline article. So I'm just going to read you a little bit from it, which is, it says that the remake will deviate considerably from the original, and it really does. So this Deadline reports that it's going to be on the CW. So the CW Strong Girl from CBS TV Studios is an adaptation of a Korean format. It follows a former war photographer named Raina, who discovers she is indestructible and potentially the strongest woman in the world. Ghosted by her Spec Ops fiancé when she reveals her newfound power to him, Raina is hired as a bodyguard by a billionaire named Oliver, who sees her true potential. So it has Ronda Rousey, who's like a wrestler and MMA fighter, up for the Raina role, I think, or an executive producer, or both. So it's not quite clear. And the scriptwriter is Melissa Scrivener Love of Walking Dead. But this is not at all Strong Woman.
Because the whole point is that she's like this tiny, cute, like adorable thing,
and it's a supernatural power. It's not like, you know, normal.
Yeah,
she doesn't just suddenly come into the power. She's born with it, and she's grappled with, like, she is.
And there's like a mythology of her power.
Exactly, there's a mythology. She's been told by her mother and her grandmother that you can't abuse the power. So she tries very hard not to abuse it, but then she doesn't use it for good either. That is supposed to be her background.
It's hard to judge from the premise, but like I feel like this is doing that thing that
Americanization
does,
of
where like a
stories,
strong female character always has to be like physically strong and like look strong and and like
the whole point.
extremely tough. Because Bong-soon, like I had some issues with her character, but one of the things I liked was how like she was very like girly and cute, and like she just wanted to be a regular girl, but then she could like pick up buses with one hand, like.
But that was so integral to her character as well.
Exactly.
But then to be fair, Korean dramas do have this thing where they like their heroines to be as cute and small as possible. So maybe having someone who has physical appearance of someone who is already strong is maybe not a bad change.
That's strength of like an earned variety, whereas the whole point of this is that this isn't.
No, I agree, but this is like the Superman argument. Do you need Superman or Batman to be that buff? You don't. Even if they were scrawny teenagers, they would still, like, not Batman, but Superman would still have his amazing power. He doesn't need to be that buff, but he is because just that's symbolic almost.
Right.
Like those muscles are more symbolic than anything else. So
why and also like Superman is a quintessentially American hero.
Exactly, but true. So that is how. So if men get to have that, then why can't women? Like when it's the female superhero, why does she have to be a model?
Because I feel like what we want to say with that is that it's not the muscles that make the strength.
I agree, but that's a different argument. I'm saying that's a different argument. This is a different one.
And
these are both valid.
Part of it is just the contrast of this tiny pixie-like
girl.
Yeah,
absolutely. I loved it. That was one of my favorite things.
They didn't just cast a small girl. They cast the tiniest, cutest girl possible.
Right, exactly.
With the cutest voice and the just I
mean, exactly. It seems like the tone is going to be really different because this is like it sounds really hardcore. Like she's a war photographer. Like it sounds much darker. So I don't know. I feel like the tone is going to be really different, so I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off.
I don't necessarily think it will be different because I've seen CW dramas before, and they do have some that wasn't white collar CW, because they can have someone with a army background, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the whole thing is going to be a war drama. It can just be one of those rom-com-y situations where it's just I actually expect a rom-com out of this. It sounds like a typical American rom-com actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see, I guess. Are you guys going to check this out once it starts airing?
Highly unlikely.
Yes,
I might.
I might watch like one episode just to see the contrast.
Yeah, let's gauge it. Yeah.
Also, because Walking Dead has become kind of a farce now.
Oh, do you watch that?
Not watched
I don't, but like I've seen how it went from like being the most popular show on TV to like now.
I like the game.
Popular.
The game's pretty good.
Just mock how like ridiculous the twists are and how they just like randomly kill people. So I don't know. I don't watch it.
And apparently they keep killing people of color, which became like this entire thing.
Yeah. So yeah.
And like I remember. So the joke was that in Walking Dead you can't have more than one black person at a time. So one black man dies and another one comes on. So that was
that's historically accurate.
Okay, so the next item on the list.
Next item is SBS and MBC are planning to create a new Friday-Saturday drama time slot. So, the Friday-Saturday drama time slot is quite new to begin with. It hasn't been around for that long, and I'm sorry, I didn't check the dates of this, but it's been a couple of years, I think, not longer than maybe two, three. Cable channels kind of established this totally new time slot for dramas, and they've become normal now. So
they've become normal, and also like some of the biggest hits aired, like Goblin.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So like why not get in on the act since it's a safe slot now? So SBS and MBC are both like considering that they're creating this new time slot. But my question about this is, does that mean that we'll have more dramas, or are the same dramas going to be in different time slots?
So the article I read was saying they're actually getting rid of their Sunday, or one of the channels is actually getting rid of their Sunday one of their Sunday drama hours altogether. So maybe rather than doing Saturday, Sunday, they're just shifting to Friday, Saturday.
So
for
is that like the
big budget.
the weekend long drama format? You know, the 50
I'm not sure because one of the upcoming like weekend melodramas is actually airing on Saturday, 4 episodes back to back. So maybe they're just getting rid of
just
Sunday as a drama day completely and just doing that, but it'll still be like a weekend show and then they'll have their Friday, Saturday. I don't know. It's definitely in flux. I remember when I was doing my research for my final paper, I saw quite a few articles over the last like year and a half or so talking about how broadcast television is losing to cable networks. And these are all like English language Korean newspapers. Like, so it's like the English language of like Hanguk Ilbo, Jungang Ilbo, Chosun Ilbo, you know, those like Korea Times and stuff. So it's something that I guess, and like, you know, it's been a trend that these high profile writers and directors and actors have been leaving broadcast to go to cable because they can do more interesting stuff there. So
yeah, and so like these channels are now trying to lure them back.
Yeah.
But I wonder how that will work out, because part of the reason that they've been leaving is, well, one is budget and two is the creative, like more creative freedom. But the other interesting thing is that like for example, I think is it MBC has been showing some quite like unusual dramas that I don't expect to see on, you know, on terrestrial TV. Things like Red Moon Blue Sun. That's not typical sort of broadcast fare. That tends to be more sort of cable-y, like the way that flavor of show.
Yeah, and
then you
cable
have
isn't
stuff like, sorry, go on.
Cable isn't subject to the same kind of restrictions that these government sort of, or these public channels, because I think they are still considered public broadcast. So there's a lot of stuff that they, and I think cable does still have some type of restrictions on it, because I was watching a scene in Sky Castle where there was a knife and like the knife was still blurred out.
Blood, yeah.
Yeah, so they do still have rules, but there's definitely don't have the same type of restrictions that like SBS, NBC, KBS have. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Well, MBC has acquired the new Unpansok drama, the rights to it.
Interesting.
And interestingly, like Unpansok has had his dramas have pretty exclusively, almost exclusively lived at JTBC since the network started. So,
and this is and the last one was on TVN, and this is his first broadcast show, right?
Oh, he had heard it through the grapevine 2015, which was
wasn't that on JTBC?
Was that JTBC? I think that was KBS.
Oh, really?
I can quickly check. Let me quickly check. Yeah, SBS.
Oh,
so
that's surprising.
That's the only one of his dramas since JTB started. He's only had one drama out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of 5. That was on public TV.
Interesting.
Okay.
I guess keep an eye on how things are changing in the industry. It's always interesting.
Yay.
Should we move on to upcoming?
Let's do that.
Yes.
Upcoming in February. So I just want to make a quick note here that we talked about Touch Your Heart as an upcoming January, because it was originally supposed to air, I think, January 26th, but it's been moved ahead to February 6th. I think probably because Shin Dong-wook was going to be cast as, I think, the second lead, and he had some kind of scandal with his grandfather who accused him of trying to steal his inheritance, but I think his grandfather's like old and kind of senile, and it was a misunderstanding from what, I mean, who knows what actually happened, but anyway, he's dropped out of the drama. They had to replace him with somebody else, so I think that's probably why it's being delayed. So we're still excited for that, but it's not coming out until February.
It's a bit like 4 days more. Like, I mean, it's
it's
like
not a huge
5 days.
It's a week, I think. Yeah.
Oh, so did you guys watch the trailers of Touch Your Heart?
Oh, I didn't. I want to.
I haven't.
Okay, so like the most of the trailers are pretty. It's the whole. They're funny trailers. That's fine. But one of the trailers, and I found this on Asian Wiki, was basically Yuena and Lee Dong-wook in like trench coats and like very reminiscent of their goblin garbs. Like Yuena in this sort of mustard colored coat and Lee Dong-wook in this coat that's like that I don't know, this
Did he have his
woolen
Grim Reaper
green
hat though?
thing. He didn't have a hat, but the
Oh.
colors were exactly the same, and they were on a bridge, and they were walking past each other. And they stopped and they turned around to look at each other. That
I
is
feel like
such
this is gonna be
blatant
full of-
manipulation of our affection of the goblin couple, man. It's like they want us to think that this is the reincarnated love
Yeah, but
story that
this is
finally
what
gets out.
everybody wants,
Yeah,
so
this is what
it's
we want,
actually
so-
perfect.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I am happy for this, but then this drama would better be good. You know, I
Right.
mean, it doesn't have to be amazing, but it would please just be good.
I know.
That's all.
Don't crush our expectations. Although I guess I've learned to know that my expectations are going to be crushed after 2018, but let's not go there. Okay. The next one on the list is Legal High, which is
Okay.
airing February 8th on JTBC. It's starring
Yeah.
Jingu and Seonsu. It's a legal drama / comedy, and it's about an arrogant, greedy lawyer who'll do anything to win, and a passionate rookie lawyer with a righteous sense of fairness who join forces for justice. And it's based on the 2012 Japanese drama that was also called Legal High.
Okay. I have not watched the trailer because I have nothing
This one
to.
just doesn't sound that interesting to
No,
me.
no, I only put it on the list because it's Jingu, and I like Jingu, but I don't think I'm going to watch this.
Yeah.
February 9th is Trap on OCN. It's 7 episodes, so it's kind of short. It stars Lee Seo-jin and Sung Dong-il. It's a mystery / thriller, and it's about a respected anchor at a broadcasting station who's like a happy family man who tries his luck in politics, but then a tragic incident happens. Sung Dong-il plays a veteran detective who is like really persistent on solving cases, and he decides to
No, so this
investigate.
is more of a mystery.
Yeah, it's like a mystery
yeah.
thriller,
And it's
Okay.
short.
and
which
it's
is
short.
good. I think I'm
Right.
gonna check this one
And
out.
one of the directors did Encounter and Jealousy Incarnate.
And Jealousy
The directing
Incarnate,
is probably going to
okay.
be pretty good.
And
yeah.
the other director did King Two Hearts.
Right. So the
Ooh.
directing is probably strong.
Should be solid, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Sung Dong-il is great as a detective.
He's
Watch
great as
live.
everything.
Yes. And that was my subtle plug for live. Go watch live if you haven't watched live. Okay.
Oh, I started live. I forgot to tell
Oh,
you guys. I
it's-
did.
I
It
started
looks
last
really
year
good.
and just haven't had time to carry on. I really
Yeah, no, it's good when you have a chance. The Light in Your Eyes is airing February 11th on JTBC. This one is also
laughing at your note. Because that's. Can we
yes,
just tell
I'll just
listeners-
read that out. It's 12
Okay.
episodes on JTBC. So I usually write down the actors. So this one I wrote Bin, Kim Hae-ja, Son Ho-jun, Nam Joo-hyuk. Which of these 4 is not like the others?
Yeah. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you see just.
I
Is
wouldn't
Nam
be
Joo-hyuk
so
the
bothered, except
is
that
he-
he's the male lead. And I
Oh,
just
you're
don't
right,
understand.
exactly. And it's like Han Ji-min is going from Ji-sung to Nam Joo-hyuk. That's
Also, Kim Hae-ja is like a juggernaut of acting talent. I love her. She's so like you have this Han Ji-min and Kim Hae-ja playing the heroine, and Son Ho-jun is playing her oppa, which is probably gonna be
he's
great.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, he's.
I
But then
just
Nam
don't
Joo-hyuk, like
understand
what?
why Nam Joo-hyuk keeps getting big roles. He's just such a weak actor. The only role he's done absolutely like amazingly was the weightlifting fairy one, and that must be quite close to his real personality. But I haven't seen him do well in any other role.
And also,
What
like
else have you seen
even
him
the
in? 'Cause
story.
I haven't seen him in too many
School
things.
2015, and something else that I can't
Yeah,
remember.
I've only he was in Bride of the Water God.
Yeah, that
But I
one.
didn't watch.
Oh
it.
yeah, that was horrible. That was just
I
I
heard it
don't
was
know.
bad.
And Moon
Yeah.
Lovers, he was in Moon Lovers as well, which you have seen.
But just to
Oh
kind
yeah,
of
but he
tell
was
you,
very young there.
I feel like we just jumped into our commentary, but I just wanted to say the premise. It's basically a fantasy romance about an optimistic woman who can turn back time. So like Han Ji-min and Kim Hae-ja are both playing the heroine. So somehow she's going to be fighting for justice and traveling in time and fixing the past. And then Nam Joo-hyuk is the male lead, who is basically a man who throws his brilliant moments away and instead lives a lethargic lifestyle. That doesn't make me any more excited, but Son Ho-jun is playing the heroine's older brother, who's like an unemployed bum, but I think he'll do great at that. So
Yeah. Okay. Ringing endorsement that.
but it also has like a really good screenwriter and a really good director, because it's the writer and director of
This week
my wife is having an affair. I Live in Cheongdam-dong, which was, I don't think it was translated in English, but it was like a really good daily drama. So I don't know what they're going for in this, but I'm probably going to check it out because the team is so strong. Okay.
The next item is called Item.
Nice one. Yes, it's airing on MBC on February 11th. 32 episodes, which is like 16 hours. It stars Joo Ji-hoon, Jin Se-yeon, Kim Kang-woo. It's about a profiler and a prosecutor who must uncover a conspiracy and the hidden secrets surrounding unique items with supernatural powers. And it's based on a webtoon, and it's also Joo Ji-hoon and Jin Se-yeon's reunion after they co-starred in the mukbang train wreck Five Fingers.
Did you watch it?
I did not, but I followed enough of like, I think Koala on Koala's Playground was like watching it and recapping it, and she was just like losing her mind at how insane it was. Not in a good way. So
the only person who gives me pause in that is Jin Se-yeon again.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of hers. Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm probably gonna watch this one because it's my type of show.
Yeah, I'm probably
it does
not
sound like your
gonna
type of
unless
show.
you convince me to. Because
And I do like Kim Kang-woo. He's always good.
Yeah.
Almost always good.
So also airing on February 11th is Haechi on SBS, 48 episodes, which I'm guessing means 24 hours. It's got Jung Hae-do, Kwon Yul, and Gohara. And there's not a lot of information, but I just know that it's a saguk, and it's about a prince and how he has like some people who join him to fight for justice in the reform of Sehanbu, which is like the Bureau of Inspection, or the Offices of Inspection, which is one of like 3 main government offices during like Joseon times.
Okay.
And this is Jung Hae-do's army comeback, post-army comeback.
Yeah.
And he's always good in saguk.
Yeah, he's good in saguk.
And I like Gohara. I mean, she's not the strongest actress, but she's very likable.
I agree. Yeah.
No, I liked her in Black, so that was Gohara, right?
Yeah. And in Hwara.
And in Reply 1994. She was, I think that was my favorite performance of hers, is Reply 1994.
That's the Reply I haven't watched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, she was very like, she's known to be pretty, and she just like threw all of that out the window and just like acted her heart out, and she was really good in that.
I don't think I've seen her being like pretty in anything. I mean, of course she is pretty, but none of her characters that I've seen have been like pretty.
But I think that role was what kind of made her break out of this like nation's very beautiful like model type of archetype, and people were like, oh wow, she can actually act, you know, for the first time, whereas before they were just like, oh, you're so pretty.
Wish people said that about me.
I mean, why can't you have everything, right? We just want everything. Okay, the next one is Possessed. It's premiering February 13 on OCN. Not really interested in watching something called Possessed. Yeah, it's a horror genre. It stars Go Joon-hee and Yeon Jung-hoon, which I like both of them, but I'm not watching them.
And it's on OCN, so it's definitely going to be terrifying and horrible.
Yeah, basically it's about a psychic medium who is like lonely, and she stays away from people because of that. But then a police detective in the middle of a case discovers her hidden ability, and then they decide to join forces to solve cases. This sounds a little bit like
this sounds like
that Daniel Choi.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like, what was that called? The Ghost Detective? Yeah, it sounds a bit like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
but you know,
it's OCN. I could watch that because that was like NBC or something.
Right. This is true. Yeah.
And the reputation this channel has. But yeah, but there are more ghost-related dramas. There's another one, right, on the list?
Well, we have Hot-Blooded Priest, which is not a ghost, but it's following this creepy priest trend, or maybe it's this one actually
like 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, this is not a creepy priest because it's a drama/comedy, but they are solving crimes. So, you know, it's kind of, there's some overlap. But I'm excited for this one.
the mystery of the death of an elderly priest.
Yeah, so
maybe
it's
it
a
doesn't have anything to
priest.
do with. Oh,
I
there's
don't think
Kim
there's
Nam
any
Gil.
more.
I love
Right.
Kim Nam Gil.
So this is why I'm excited, because Kim Nam Gil is the best, and this is a comedy, and he's
Oh, and
especially
he's
the
great
best in comedies. Yeah,
And so
Oh, I
Henry.
want to see him as an angry priest. This
right.
okay, yeah, okay. This
And
is
this
on my
one,
radar
this is
now.
the one that's airing in SBS's first ever Saturday time slot.
This
So
could actually
that
be
that
good. I
starts on
wasn't
February
originally
15th.
planning to watch this, but it looks fun. And the
Right.
cast is good.
Oh, and
Yeah.
writer of Chief Kim.
And the
Okay.
writer of Chief Kim, which is like, I'm sold, because Chief Kim was really, really good. And it was good throughout. Like, it was totally like they did what they were planning to do. They sustained everything. So yeah, I think I'm gonna check it out. And then we have Big Issue, which is airing. They don't have an air date, and the episodes are also to be announced. But it's Park Shin-hyung and Han Ye-seo, and it's just about a paparazzi going after scoops every week. But the reason I wanted to mention it is because it's the writer of the K2 and Youngpa, which
Hard.
Oh,
Hard.
yikes.
oh.
So I guess it's more of a
No.
warning than an announcement.
I think the only two dramas that I've watched that have done news stuff well is probably Pinocchio and Misty. Oh, there was also Argon, I guess. So, okay, hey, yeah,
Okay.
this might be good. Who
So
knows?
okay, I'll let
Yeah.
you tell me whether it's good.
I'm not promising to watch it. Let's just see the trailer first.
I'm not watching. I can tell you that right now. I have been burned by both of those dramas.
Well,
I have not watched either of those dramas, so I'm still like the naive goat to the slaughter.
Well, I hope you enjoy it.
speaking of goats, I don't know where I'm going with that, but it's the end of our yak. No, this isn't even the yak. There's no animals in this one.
Oh no, we didn't do the
It's our
joke.
non-animal.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this one was really packed, so
Okay,
It's
okay. Before we if do we have a joke for this one?
Well, you
Sorry?
had a question for us, P, didn't you?
I do. So if you guys don't have a joke, I have a podcast related question.
Okay, let's do it.
So my question is that we've been on air for at least a year now, more than a year now, and which countries do you think listen to us most?
I think we've got a lot of Philippines and Singapore, maybe.
Also, the US, I think we have a high number in the
Malaysia?
US, and maybe
I'm going with
Indonesia.
East Asia more. Yeah,
I feel like it's maybe the US and Indonesia.
and probably a bit.
Yeah,
of
you guys actually found all of them. It's US,
nice.
Indonesia, and Philippines.
Yeah, we don't check the stats as often as you do, but like I do look at them occasionally because it makes me feel warm inside and happy and like full of love towards the world, which not a lot of stuff makes
But
me
I've
feel that these days.
also found that our amongst all the cities that we get listeners from, the top one consistently is always Jakarta from Indonesia.
Oh, cool.
Even though
Jakarta,
most
we love
Hi,
you.
hi, Jakarta.
Hi. Assalamualaikum.
I was about to say walaikum salam. I was like,
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to our listeners.
fine. I'm going.
We actually do have to end the episode now, but
I do actually
So,
have a joke.
oh,
Shall we
oh
end
yeah, go for
properly?
it.
okay, go.
It's really bad though. This is to honor the island, the many islands of Indonesia. They do have loads of islands, right?
I think so.
Okay, cool.
Please let
all
us
of
know,
them.
Indonesia
Hey.
listeners, and correct us if we're wrong. And we
You
apologize.
should Google this and be ashamed.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, how do surfers clean themselves?
They surf their face. I don't know.
They wash up on shore.
Oh, of course they do.
right.
Of course they do. Is there any other way?
My sister was
Hey,
like,
surf is a detergent in my country. Okay, so that was not bad.
"Oh
Okay,
yeah,
I was
that works. Your answer actually works then. Now that I'm thinking about that,
so forced, man.
you can take this out of the podcast. But my sister was giving me feedback, and she was like, she's like, everything is good, but like the joke is a little cringe. I was like, yeah, but that's our brand.
That's the point.
Exactly. Very on brand.
Now, tell your sister I'm keeping this. This is forever going to be part of our podcast.
All right. Okay, guys.
Okay, so we hope that you enjoyed What's Up in Dramaland, and yeah, that's it for
Yeah.
this segment. Yay.
Let us know what you think of the new format. We really are interested in what you think.
Yeah, we really want to know which if this is better, because we wanted to break it up to make it more digestible and not just do 2.5 hour long podcast. So let us know.
4 hour long recordings.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.